Hey Jenna, how you doing? All right, so sister's getting married this summer, and you're doing the invitation. That's awesome. Good job, man. I'm so glad to hear that you're going to be doing the invitations. There, your business patient test gives you a chance. I'd love to take a look. Yeah, I can take a look. No problem. Might as well do it now, right? There's no time like the present. I should say there's no time like the present. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, I've got the invitation up. What the heck did I? Oh, there it is, right there. Okay, so I think it's a pretty good premise. I mean, without knowing, I don't know a whole lot about what's going on, so I don't have much background. So my immediate question would be, what is the relevance and the significance of the tree itself? Um, so right now, I think that I'm wondering if you can get by without using the middle names. I think the middle names kind of add a little bit of a, especially the way that they're kind of represented here, when they're smaller than the first and last name. So I think this adds a layer of complexity. So my recommendation is to find out if you don't have to use the name. If you don't have to use the name, you can just offset first and last name like this, and that's great. Um, but if you need to use the last names, I think that yeah, I guess it's not bad, but what I would recommend is that right now it looks like, and you want some really consistent here. So right now, Taylor Rebecca Jordan. We see Rebecca is smaller. It's the middle name. It's smaller in scale, right? But if you take a look at the baseline semi aligns with the X height of the last name, right? So there's the mean line right there, X height, right? There's the baseline for the last name. So that kind of forms this line. But over here, this name is pushed up a little bit. So Castillo is not in alignment with the X height of the last name, right? So you would want to get that to be really consistent. Then you would move that, get that ampersand in there. The ampersand almost looks like it's on an oblique or an italic. If it is, I don't recommend that. Also, maybe try to think of a way to incorporate that ampersand just a little bit more thoughtfully. Right now, it almost appears like it's forced and almost appears to be an afterthought. Invite to share in a celebration of their wedding. So right now you've got all caps here. Now, I don't recommend all caps, and the reason I say that is because all caps, a lot of people, a lot of designers will say that all caps is indicative or kind of synonymous with raising your voice to somebody. As a wedding invitation, we don't want to appear as though we're kind of yelling. So I would recommend regular case for that. Don't Let's skip the all caps on that. I'm okay with the center alignment, but this is out of alignment right now. You've got center alignment through here, then you've got right alignment here, then you've got left alignment here. I would center the whole thing. You're okay. Now, if you've had me in other classes, you'll hear me say 100,000 times, I am not a fan of center alignment because it doesn't do much to activate the negative space. The exception is formal invitations. So I'm perfectly okay with you center aligning this, all right? I think, so I would take from here down and just center align it as a composition in there. And don't use all caps there, don't use all caps here. As far as the presentation of your figures, you're using old style figures here, and I think it's a little bit wonky, and the reason being is because it's a great idea to use old style figures in body copy because it kind of points to a more consistent representation of the X height of any given typeface. So the alternative to old style figures is just to use default figures, but to reduce the scale by 10, 15%, or something just to bring it down a little bit. Normally, numerals are too large by default. Okay, so so I would recommend not using old style numerals only because this isn't isn't body copy. It's a small selection of text. So see how that feels when you do that. And then just go ahead and center align all of that type. I think Thursday is kerned out too widely. I also think you've got a space before and after the bullet for the 08, 06, 2020, which is okay, but I think that these numbers here, this is too large in scale and comparatively to the size of the text that surrounds it. So you want to incorporate that. You know, you want it to be visible, but you don't want it to stand out like a sore thumb. Do you see what I'm saying? You want to integrate it harmoniously into the typographic composition. Okay, so those are, oh, as far as color goes, I think you're okay here using purple. I'm sorry, using green right here, and then this kind of maroon color. But I wouldn't use black here. I would stick with that maroon. And the reason I say that is because black is advancing too much in the composition. And I think that to kind of even things out, not create separation here, will create consistency as opposed to separation. The black being something that's different, it's not seen anywhere else on the page, so it's creating a degree of separation. We don't want that. We want consistency. My recommendation is to use either green or that maroon color here. Okay, all right, so if you want to work out some detail, what the heck just happened? I have no idea what just happened here, but let's see. Okay, there we go. I must have clicked. Oh, you know what? I clicked on that. That's what happened. Anyway, you can hear my little dogs downstairs. It's time to eat. So hopefully that's not too distracting. At any rate, so those are my recommendations. If you want to reformat and let me know, I'll be glad to take a look at it. Don't worry about it. I got no problem looking at the work. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.